Oh, looks like we got a zombie apocalypse here. Yeah, we're not interested in that. We want to go talk to Hardluck. Who, last time we were streaming, I went to go talk to, and that's when we discovered that we didn't have him unlocked, and then I had to go unlock him, and that's where the stream ended. So now, he's unlocked, and we're on our way to go talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Ninja Weasel. I mean, Hardluck. They're easy to confuse. They're easy to, mix up like that. Cool looking guys, running the mob in their neighborhood, break people's legs if they get too successful at the gambling tables. This is all just Ninja Weasel stuff right here. Alright. He's right inside this door. If you've never been around the inside of the Giza, it's actually pretty cool. The name's Hardluck, and that's just what I bring. You stick with me, and we'll make sure no one gets home happy. Sound all right to you? All right. See, look, he's even got, like, the old school Ninja Weasel look before he decided to grow a 7-foot beard to make Guan Yu jealous. I don't know why Ninja Weasel was like, today I'm making Guan Yu jealous, but he chose that path, and he chose to grow the beautiful beard. And so one of these days he's gonna have like a showdown, man, and I hope Ninja Weasel's bringing his own weaponry, because Black Dragon is reputedly a pretty dope sword. Just saying. So Tabez, is it? Never heard of you. Wow Here in St. Marcy, a lot of action. You help us out, and I'm gonna cut you in. All right, we can get cut in. Some guy cleared 600 grand at craps. Now, I don't know if he's cheating. I don't much care. I'm gonna send a message. Let people know that if you mess with the casino messes with you. I want you to get Lucky Dragon's beard. Look at that. He's sending us off to steal somebody's beard. What was I just talking about? Guan Yu never gave him a choice. Ow! So apparently we're gonna steal somebody's beard. So let's go. We're gonna de-beard him. How does that make you guys feel? How does it make you guys feel? You feel good? You feel good that we're gonna take somebody's beard? Like, I'm pretty sure that way back in the day, that's how the war between like the Mongolian Empire and the Ilkhanate began. Is the Ilkhanate like shaved off the Mongolian ambassador's beard, and then the Mongols were very upset at that fact. They came in and they killed everybody. Isn't that how that worked? Am I remembering this correctly? If not, it's a great story, and I'm going to stick with it anyway. It's a villain origin story somewhere. It sure is. And you know what? We're the villain. Did you see the marketing event from Marvel this afternoon? They basically revealed the full cast of the new Avengers movie. Okay, well, good for them. Good for them. That's all I have to say about that. Like I'm talking to an animal or a small child. Like, good for them. Oh, look at you. You learned how to poop in your box. That's wonderful. All right, here's the man whose beard we need to take. Like, Robert Downey Jr. cannot get me interested in that movie. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Marvel might suck me in for another Spider-Man movie if they make another Tom Holland Spider-Man, but like, that's pretty much it, dude. I don't really care anymore. They effed up so much stuff early on that there's a lot of things that have just annoyed me ever since. Like, How can you do the Infinity... In fact, why did they just adapt the Infinity Gauntlet exactly as written? It would have been better than what they got out of Infinity War and Endgame. Like, they adapted it just closely enough that it's a travesty. Like, I kept waiting, like, for them to introduce Adam Warlock, because how can you do all this stuff with the gems and not have Adam Warlock distracting Thanos from inside to make all and like take possession of the gems, because he's already in the gems and he's part of them. Whatever. And Taiki Waikiki or Wahiwa or whatever his name is. Like, Ragnarok was okay, but I could tell where Thor was going, and so I haven't seen Love and Thunder. I have no interest in it. Alright, Tavez, got a serious situation here. Video poker machines at the Giza, well, they're not always, how'd you put it, honest. They show the odds of it a little in our favor. See, problem is programmers who made the games know it, and one of them's threatening. Oh no. Alright, let's go kidnap a programmer. Yeah, it's real hard to have gravitas to a situation when somebody's cracking a joke every 5 seconds. You are correct. And that's partially our fault as viewers, because we reacted to Joss Whedon's stuff in Avengers very positively, you know. Because it gave us some great lines like, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry, like stuff like that. But then, kind of like the Borderlands games, they took it to the extreme, and they drove the fun into the ground by corporatizing it. It no longer felt like it was organic and fit the characters. It was just like, oh, it's been 30 seconds since we've had a quip. Let's have another one. And even in, like, the first Avengers movie, like, the quips were not really all that out of place. They were kind of funny. And they broke the tension a little bit, but they weren't always intended as, like, outright jokes by the characters. Like when Captain America meets Thor, you know, Thor's like, I'm the god of thunder or whatever, and Captain America's like, there's only one god, mister, and I don't think he looks like you, or whatever he says, you know? Like, that's funny. But that's also, like, very in character for Steve Rogers. My favorite verbal joke in all the Marvel movies, because it was so understated and it depicts the character really well. It's funny for us, and it's not funny for them, because it's just them being them. It's not intended as a joke, which is what makes it funny. It's when it's towards the end of Thor, when Thor is teaming up with Cole to, you know, Agent Cole to stop the destroyer, and he's like, yada da 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 da, you know, son of Cole. That's what Coulson literally means. He's being very formal. He's being very proper to his new ally. But to a modern Western ear, it's nonsense, because we don't address people that way anymore. I love it. Anyway, we're supposed to be kidnapping a guy. And that's one of, in my opinion, that's like the funniest thing in the MCU, is just that little character slip right there. I'm just kind of running through like Marvel movie stuff in my head. So a lot of what happened in the later movies and the way their writing works and their direction and all that is directly our fault as viewers. because we laughed. We made the Avengers very successful. Then we turned right around and we made the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, at least the first two. I've never seen the third one. Also very successful. And so they kind of patterned the rest of the MCU off of that because that's easier to do than a lot of other stuff. So that's why Captain Marvel turned out the way it did. With Samuel L. Jackson's hardcore, spy guy being made the butt of a joke by a cat. For the record, I have not actually watched Captain Marvel because I saw that and I'm just like, no. You don't have to make people look bad for jokes. I mean, granted, that is like a whole class of humor, for sure. But why do you need to diminish a beloved character just for a cheap gag? It's not that I think superhero stuff has to be like super ultra mega serious all the time, but it should take itself seriously enough that you can overlook how goofy it is with a smile. A great example of what I'm talking about is I was trying to remember if it was Endgame or Infinity War. Whichever one is the sequel that ends the opening story arc of the universe. And so we've been through, 100 hours of movies and some TV shows with these characters, right? And we get there at the end. This huge battle with Thanos. And what happens? Captain America picks up the hammer. They tease that. They tease that to us. Captain America picks up the hammer, and he knows how to use it because he can wield the power of Thor. And it's kind of funny because it's a callback to what was a joke and stuff. It's funny, but in that way that makes you smile instead of laugh. That's joy. And then Iron Man, he gets the gauntlet or whatever, and he does the snap, I'm Iron Man. Snap. Who else is going to do it? And so that's a callback to Tony Stark's entire character arc. And it's funny because he said in other times and places, I am Iron Man, but in a completely different way. So you get to see his arc of character, his arc of development, who he has become. And you also get to remember all the other times he's said that. And so that callback brings a smile to the face, and maybe you get like a little like smug chuckle of, yeah, he's Iron Man, bleep, he's bleeping Iron Man. So it's not ha-ha funny, but it's like that joy kind of funny. Or maybe just fun is the right word. Anyway, we have successfully kidnapped some guy named Ziegler here for for Hard Luck. And now Hard Luck is going to give us money. And what more can we want? Do you like money? I like money. Dock workers unite. Yeah, you dock workers, unite. Viva la revolution! That's what they say. They get out here and they say, Viva la revolution. All right, I was just looking to see what his arcs were. He's got one story arc and some like pseudo random missions. Okay. Oh my gosh, I've been talking and I've been on mute. How long have I been muted? I've been gabbing up a storm. Have I been muted for like an hour? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How long? What was the last thing I said? You were in Adland? Okay, it could have been too long then. Alright. Okay, if it was in Adland, then I was talking about examples of things that were fun and not necessarily funny. Like Captain America picking up the hammer. Tony Stark's I Am Iron Man being repeated in a different context there at the end of Endgame. Stuff like that. So I talked about that a little bit. And then, where was I going after that? I don't remember. Must not matter. Alright, let's go beat these guys up here. So Arachnos operatives in the base, yada yada. I read the text for the mission. Oh, wait, this is a kill-all. What am I doing? So yeah, I just imagine I read Hard Luck's mission text here. Hold on. Family's got problems, Tabez. Big ones. See, Arachnos expects a certain kickback in exchange for protection. Yep. And you have been lying about how much you're raking in, which is not a good thing. So we gotta go take out the auditors, basically. And as tax season approaches for all of us, I'm sure many people can commiserate with that. I wonder how I got muted. I didn't hit the mute button consciously. I must have thumbed it by accident. My mute is on my mouse. So I must have just bumped it with my thumb. That's very silly of me. It's also really convenient because when you're playing a video game that uses mouse and keyboard, what are you holding on to? The mouse. I just think the Marvel movies could have been so much more than they actually were. No, it is definitely our fault as viewers for getting into the Joss Whedon way, man. And then supporting them as they carried it to the extreme. And of course, it comes from like James Bond, right? Like that's kind of where that comes from in an action sequence way. Where you get like those 80 action movies quips, right? With the great one-liners and stuff. Let off some steam, Bennett. But they don't deliver that stuff in the middle of the action sequence. Like in Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he gets done with like some action, and he's got Totally there. Totally, remember when I said that? Remember when I said I would kill you last? Yeah, that's right, Matrix, you did. I lied. It happens after the action sequence, not during the action sequence. When let off some steam, Bennett, like that happens after the action sequence, after the villain has reached his what's the term, like the denouement or something, the denouement. I don't know how to pronounce that. It looks French. Oh, this was a super short mission. Cool. In James Bond movies, he usually didn't deliver his quips, except under two circumstances. One, he's like in bed, or two, the villain that he's been fighting has been defeated. We're about to do the Unlucky Artifact, which is his story arc. So yeah, you know what? I guess we'll just roll. Oh no, this is badge mission. Okay, cool. This was badge mission then. I've got a hot situation in my hand, Dabez. There's a high roller in the casino. He's been throwing sevens all night. He's too important to threaten and way too important to kill, so got to break his luck another way. I've heard of a mystic who has some sort of lucky talisman, or unlucky talisman, rather. It's an artifact that brings bad luck to all around the owner. Gotta get that artifact, Tabez. Am I we? I mean you. Guy carrying the blood of Chang-Chi? Man, I know I butchered that. I am sorry. He may try to run. If he gets away, this job will be a failure. Way I hear it, this guy lives in the flop. Get down there, get the artifact, and bring it back to me. Okay. Boy, he's way out there, ain't he? And I also don't want like the stuff I said to sound like I'm down, like I'm against Marvel movies or whatever. Like, I got a lot of enjoyment out of the Marvel movies I watched. And I got a lot of enjoyment out of that last Spider-Man movie in particular, because they nostalgia bombed me. They did. They nostalgia bombed me super hard. I couldn't resist it, man. Seeing that Green Goblin come back. Wow. Wow. You know, he's something of a scientist himself, right? Like, it was just joyful. Why is everybody picking on me? He makes some great faces. He sure does. William Dafoe is one of those actors who has such an incredible range of what he can do as an actor. Like, he can shift from super lightweight stuff to super heavy duty stuff, like drop of a hat. It's amazing. There he is. There's Tavares. I refuse to dispose of the blood. You will simply have to learn to divert the bad luck. Who is that? Is that Tabez? Boom! Alright. And now, most importantly, we got the bad luck badge. That's right. Great. I'll be sure to hang it at the casino when Mr. Moneybags is playing his next game of craps. It's ought to have him throwing some snake eyes. Save Hard Luck's brother. Alright, one more rando mission, no problem. Got a personal problem I'd like some help with. My brother just called. He's been working with the council since way back, since they were under the previous leadership. Anyway, he told me something great was about to happen for him. I need you to stop it. What am I saying? Well, pretty simple. I'm not called hard luck for nothing. Every time it seems like something's about to go right in my life, it goes wrong. You know, something bad's gonna happen to my kid brother. You have to save him. You come through, you'll get paid well, and I'll make sure Kenny gives you any side council information that he's got. Oh, this Kenny Omega? The best bout machine? Wow. You know, one of these days, since we're just talking about William Dafoe, I almost called him William Defriend. Since we're just talking about William Dafoe, I need to watch Lighthouse. I need to give that movie a watch. Just from still images, like, it looks good just from like the stills and the memes. And I heard it's kind of like a confusing mess of a film too, which just kind of entices me even more. The council base is all the way down in this pit. How do they move supplies in and out of this place? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, the feeling some dark presence watching you. Oh man. Is it a vampire? Is Hard Luck's brother about to be... I hear some brackets super cruiser. I have to buck up. Oh! His brother's gonna get a nictus implanted. Yeah, that sucks, man. I feel for you. What's that line from that one epic rap battle, you know, and I feel for your family? Now your baseball career, that was a tragedy. We have not seen the text pop up yet, so this must not be where he's at. Okay, now let's just pop this. Ah, I see which room it is. Meanwhile, Griblaja would have known exactly what room to go to without having to use that to find the room. Kenny Luciano, look guys, I appreciate the opportunity and all, but I don't want to be a werewolf. Yep, failed nictus implant. Raccoons doesn't have recruits. There's no choice in the matter. But Arachne's thing's not the werewolves, it's the Galaxy Troopers. It's actually Requiem that's into the werewolves. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. We're not gonna figure this out. We're just gonna stab people. Although right now we're not stabbing people, we're stabbing robots. I love these things, by the way. I love the way the council robots look. No, Kenny! Why didn't you follow me? Why didn't you follow me, Kenny? Kenny! Guys, give Kenny a chance, okay? Ken, if you get over here, I can heal you. Alright. That's better. Kenny got a little bit of a heal, man. Kenny G is okay. Kenny G will survive. And he will return. And Kenny G too. The Kenny Genator. I'm gonna just keep looking back at this guy, make sure he's okay. Kenny? Kenny, come on. Come on, buddy. You know how much hard luck is paying me? Probably not actually all that much. I don't know. I actually should have negotiated my rate with him before I started the mission. We did not think this through. We did not think this plan through at all. There we go. We got some more heals on. Hey, we're working on our heal badge, right? Look at that. We've healed for 16,000 healing so far. That's right. We are the heal overlords. We're the healinators. Which is admittedly very similar to being the defenestrator, just different. Kenny's like the knockback guy, man. All knockback all day. We're almost out of here. Probably it. Yeah, good. All right, Kenny Rogers chicken, let's get out of here, man. I'm nodding my head to the music, sorry. Alright, that'll do us for this episode here. Your brother safe, thanks to you. I can't guarantee he'll stay that way. After all, being near me just means a heavy dose of rotten luck. But at least he's got a chance. I want the American people to know they still got 2 out of 3 branches of the government working for them, and that ain't bad. Alright, next up should be his story arc. There it is. Breaking the streak. Oh, we got some jokers that want to fight us. Okay. Well, thank you for watching me if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, don't worry, we're going to keep going. I've just got to stop talking so I can beat these guys up in a second. I'll see you in the next episode.